Morning, guys. All right, it's Friday. I want to do a quick video. I'm gonna post it up. All right, so as you've noticed, over the last year, I haven't done a lot of tool haul videos, and the main reason for that is because I kind of want to stop buying all the junk that I've been buying online. And when I say junk, let me rephrase that: tools that pretty much I was just buying just to do the channel. And I didn't want to do that anymore. I was wasting a lot of money. I didn't want to buy redundant stuff. I didn't want to buy stuff that didn't hold a value. Okay. I wasted a lot of money doing that. Tools I just, I'd see on sale or whatever. And there's a reason for that, guys. It's because they're not selling. Okay. So over the last year, I kind of reevaluated what I was buying, what I was purchasing. So I kind of threw that out the door and was like, hey, I'm not doing that anymore. Make sure I buy stuff that's of value. And what I came to the conclusion was, and I saw a really good video last year too that I really agreed upon, and that's kind of what aligned with my logic of thinking. And then seeing how as my father and my uncles, they're on the tailwind of their journey in terms of working. My uncle's, he's retired now. He does go fishing. So his tools, he ended up passing on to his son-in-law and his grandson. So, they use that to work on their motorbikes now. And that's where his tools are at now. And his tools are primarily Snap-on and Mac. Same thing with my dad. He's in the aviation business now, but as far as his tools that he was using to wrench in both automotive and aviation, which are primarily Mac and Snap-on too as well, they hold a value, and they're sitting in his toolbox right now. And what I wanted to do was kind of the same line was, when I looked at my tools, what tools can be passed on to my kids down the road that will still be functioning because of the quality and the materials, and as far as the resale value, which will still be there, what can still be warranted 20, 30 years, 40 years from now. And when you look at it, Snap-on, Mac Tools, a lot of big companies, Cornwell, whatever, they're still going to be around in the next few decades. Whereas opposed to, I was looking at some of these Amazon tools that I bought 2 years ago, went back online to see if they're still around. They're not there anymore. So how am I supposed to, get warranty for something that if it broke, or some kind of service or question or customer support, you're not going to get that anymore. Now, I didn't spend a lot of money on that tool, so I didn't really lose out. But, if I pass on a ratchet or something, they're going to still be able to get support for it. So those are things that I kind of looked at and reevaluated. So what I had decided last year was that I was going to start rebuilding basic hand tools. And that's why you see my last video on recommended hand tools. You'll see a lot of them are Snap-on and Mac and stuff. So those are things that, that's why I decided to go purchase Snap-on, purchase Mac. So that way, when I finish work, when I'm done with my tools and I pass on to one of my kids or grandkids or whatever, not only are they going to still be able to use it, but they'll still get warranty out of it. And if they need to sell it because they need money and I'm not around to help them, then they can take that tool, sell it, and it still holds a value, as opposed to, Pittsburgh tool. They sell that thing, they don't get a few bucks for it probably. Whereas opposed to, if they sell a Snap-on, you're still going to get quite a bit of money back, and they'll be able to do that. So that's what I wanted to do. And that's why you see a lot of tools now on my channel that I've been buying last year and accumulating and using is Snap-on, Mac, and that's primarily my two main brands that I've really focused on, because one, the quality, the resale value, and the warranty, and then the next thing is innovation as well too. Is that you know, they're always constantly coming out with tools that make the job easier in the field. So, but anyways, so kind of give you an overview so that I won't keep rambling on. All right. So primarily, as far as ratchets go, I've stuck with Snap-on. I really like the handles, and then when you look online, price point wise for used, when you look at resale value, Snap-on always holds the best resale value. Okay, so that's primarily why I did that. So the majority of my ratchets were purchased new, and I've been using them, but you know, I do have a few Macs. I definitely did. I wanted to try the Macs out, but you know, again, these ratchets, they'll be able to sell these back at a good value. And as far as the quality, I've tested both out, and I really like the way the Snap-ons just feel overall. They're really great. So, and you know, and you'll see my channel. I mean, for my mobile setup, I use Icon, and they've been great too. I have no issues with those. But like I said, I'm going to get a lot more money back for these in terms of the name itself. Same thing with the pliers. Definitely went with Snap-on. The grips on them, I've gotten accustomed to using them. And that's why I bought the Icons as well for my mobile. They both have that same feel. So, and that's just what works for me. So, you know, when you use a tool and it has a certain feel and it functions a certain way, you get adapted to that. So that's why I got those. And just a little overview. Screwdrivers. I didn't buy the big set of screwdrivers. These are only the primary ones I use. Now trim tools. Got a few variations, but now this style I do like the most. I'm talking in terms of the head style of the trim tool, but different, you know, different ones call for different kinds. So no, the Mac ones, these were on a flyer, so I got this through the Mac dealer, so that's why I bought that. And there's some other pieces that go with it. So, and then little stuff like the box cutters, and then we go over here like the tape measures. Those aren't necessarily the best in the trades. You can get definitely good brand tape measures. You know, even like Stanley ones. Those are they've been making tape measures for the longest time. My dad's got one that's like probably 40, 50 years old or whatever, and still growing great. But I just kind of wanted to keep with it. Same thing. Still got the basic hand pliers here. Got some hose clamp ones, snap rings, adjustable wrenches. Now these I did go with Mac. These are the Knipex rebrands. Okay. But you know, with it being branded Mac, you're not. Eventually, if they discontinue this model, for whatever reason, now I can still get it warranty. They'll probably just give a regular one or whatever, but they'll still hold a really good resale value. So those are stuff to look at. Now I did end up switching my pry bars over. I did get a set of Snap-ons, and I do like these handles. And again, you know, I got Hyper Tough ones, and those have been great. They're very robust, made in USA, so nothing wrong with those. Now, as far as running Mac tools, I found that it's a little bit cheaper than the Snap-on stuff, so that's a really good price point for me as well too. There's certain tools that I don't need necessarily to have a higher quality. Then I can go look for a Mac variation, especially like on certain stuff or whatever. Like this blow gun. I mean, I think I paid like $35 for this. Okay. And then what else was there? This air check. I paid right at $100 plus tax, and you know, get that for $100 nowadays. And the reason I got this is because I was just using a regular normal air check, and then there's tire gauge. So I was having to switch between both, and I wanted one where I just do all in one, you know. So, but you know, you look at the Snap-on one, I think it's 200 plus bucks, and I didn't want to pay that just for an air chuck. So I ended up getting this, got the wrench set, and then I did end up switching over to the Snap-on punch and chisel sets. Those have been great. I do have a Baco set that still in the package. So I may end up reselling that one, but and the only reason why I bought this one is because it's red and black. Okay, so it matched everything else. That had no purpose, but those have been great though. Some hose picks, a little file. I didn't have a really big extensive file set, so I ended up buying files. So you know, some more pliers up here. Little grease gun. So yeah, guys, you know, when you see a lot of guys that now there's two different things. Now there's just borderline of craziness, and then you know, I'm not gonna buy a big Snap-on toolbox or Mac toolbox or whatever and make payments on it. All of this stuff is bought and paid for already. So my logic was that each week I normally set aside a tool budget or whatever, and that's what I did. If I wanted this ratchet or whatever, you know, and if my budget was $50 a week, then I needed to save up for 3 weeks, and then I buy this, you know, just flat out. So those are things that I did, and you know, I don't want to, you know, get on credit or whatever the case is. That's something that you definitely don't want to do when you're purchasing these tools. Just, you know, save up for it, decide what you're going to get, keep your eye on it, and then just buy it, you know. So hope that helps a lot of guys. You know, I don't want any guys going in thinking that, okay, you need to buy Snap-on, you need to buy Macyo. That's not how I started off as. But what I wanted to fix on my side was that I didn't want to just go buy a bunch of random tools just to make videos or whatever. I wanted to make sure I'm buying tools that serve a purpose for me down the line, as well as make money for me. And then, you know, when I pass it on to my kids or grandkids or whatever, these tools will still be here, obviously. So there's going, you know, I have Macyo ratchets. In fact, let me show you. Y'all see my Macyo setups, and that's why I don't use these as much anymore. Especially these right here. You don't see these too often. The hard handle ones. I got a few of them, but now the gear wrenches, don't worry about those. But as far as the Macyo ones, I keep these in here. I don't use them anymore. I try to hold on to their overall quality. Some of these have already warrantied out, and since I've warrantied them out, I've gone ahead and just left it there, so that way I don't use them up anymore. But again, guys, it's easy to fall onto the Snap-on or Macyo or Mac Tools bandwagon, but don't do that. Do what's affordable. It's okay to start off from the bottom and work your way up. I'm not going to replace everything with, you know, a certain brand or whatever. I'm going to do what's wise as far as financial decision making in terms of buying tools. So I'm pretty much done set with the basic hand tools. If I see something that I can replace or whatever, or accumulate, then I'll think about it. But other than that, that's where I'm at. So pretty much for the services I provide and do on a weekly basis, this covers everything. Specialty stuff, I don't really, I've already gotten what I needed. So like suspension tools and stuff like that. But all right, guys, I'll take care. What's going on, guys? About to go here and do a quick oil change. Forget just vlog for a little bit. Tell you what, these Hardy, what are these? 7mm gloves. Fantastic gloves. Really enjoy them. These little stickers from Amazon, these have been great too. Just make sure you use some kind of permanent marker on them. But been using these icons for a while. My only thing is I wish they made a locking version. I was doing a valve cover gasket yesterday, and I actually had a swivel, my 10 mil swivel on there, but the only problem is, you know, once you're in the corner and you're trying to like that very back bolt on the valve cover, you know, I wish I could lock it so that way as I'm turning it, you know, it doesn't get all wonky and stuff. So I ended up using my this is actually the only locking 1/4 inch flex head I have, which is my Matco one. Fantastic ratchet. Well, actually, I lie. I do have these and the gear wrench ones. But as far as for my mobile setup, which is what I carry on, this is what I carry, but luckily I had this one. So I do wish the Icon made a locking one. Like I said, I don't normally bring my Matco one because I've been saving those. They're in the drawer now, and then y'all see it when I do my. It's probably on my other toolbox tour. But I'll do the in-depth one so that way y'all can see each one for those that haven't seen the older toolbox tours. And with those, I'm just saving those. Those are more. I've had those for like over a decade already, and I really enjoy using those. But I'm trying to kind of retire them so that way I can save them, and eventually I'll give those to my kiddos or whatever, and I'll pass them down. I'll wipe down some of this stuff before I go out there and do that oil change. And these gear wrench, as you can see, they work very well. These locking extensions, these are really good too. So, but yeah. What else did I get? All right, so yeah, I'm just kind of cleaning these tools up before I go back out there. These hose disconnect pliers or whatever, these work very well as too. Now this one's just an Amazon brand. It says Tool Whiz. I have no idea who that company is. I just went on Amazon, looked for a pair with some red grips, decent priced, and these have been good. If you have any of those, you know how GM does those quick disconnects or whatever, but even with the quick disconnects, they still kind of get stuck. So once you push that clip in, you can just take these and it'll pry right off. So. And these Husky swivel sockets are great too, because you can pair them up with this. Just get it there in different angles. I think eventually, I wish these sets came with more socket sizes, because I would probably upgrade to these. Now I want to eventually get some snap-ons, but I just don't want to pay the price. These have been fine. My mixed powers have been fine, but I did notice one thing. they are starting to kind of wear out. Um, and you can kind of see it on the sides a little bit. Still good. I haven't had any issues with them, like I said in my other videos, and it's not too bad. But the only thing is I don't want to round out any fasteners. That's my only concern. I don't want to damage any customers' fasteners either, or anybody else's car that I'm working on. So I'm gonna keep running these, see how well these hold up. Again, I've had these for quite a while now, and they've been doing fine. But so I'll see which one does how well it does overall, long term. Probably another few more months, and then decide what I want to do. So we'll go from there. Right, let's go ahead and get this, get everything prepped and ready. Hey, won't bore you with the oil change. Get everything. Now, as far as the filter goes, I still use these Huskies. These are probably my favorite set of oil filter pliers. They're just made very well. So let that drain up. All right, that's all wrapped up. This little Mac Tools air gun. This thing is great. You can get into the back of manifolds and stuff and blow all that crap out before you start working on stuff. Like I was saying earlier, these are my favorite pair of oil filter pliers so far. I've been online trying to look for some oil filter sockets, or you know, the ones for a specific size, because I mostly do GMs now, and sometimes I figure that might be a little bit better bet. This thing's been great too, the Icon 3/8 flex head. I didn't make it. Just trying to throw it in my tool tote. Again, this Milwaukee socket set, fantastic. No issues with them. There's a bit of the, so no problems so far. On the impact side, as you can see, a little bit on the corners. That's pretty normal usage. But again, time will tell. So I've been using these for pretty much everything, from normal maintenance stuff, suspension, brake jobs. They've been holding up. I think I paid 99 bucks for that set on the Home Depot website, and pretty much, I mean, for 99 bucks you get SAE metric, and it's pretty solid set. But we'll see. I mean, sockets, I've had pretty much good luck with the majority of them. The only ones I've, like I've said in the past, are the Craftsman Chrome ones. Those I've pretty much, the 3/8 1/4 inch. I've broken plenty of them. just from normal usage, whereas opposed to like my gear wrench or whatever. Those have been fine, but I don't even know if I have any left over. I think they're all they're set over there. I pretty much upgraded my entire 3/8 and 1/4 inch chromes to gear wrench now. It's just cheap, and I've had good luck with them, and I like the design, the knurling and stuff, so I've pretty much upgraded to that. But all right, let's see what we got. This little thing's been really good too. It's the Icon 16 ounce. It's got a really narrow head on it in terms of the width. Here's the now this is 24 ounce from Snap-on, but you see the length difference on the heads. I like this. I need to buy a 16 ounce Snap-on one to see what if it's the same or not, if it's smaller. But you know, you can get in the engine bay and tap on stuff pretty good. You don't and it won't damage because it's obviously light. So I like this. So if you got something that's kind of stuck, or you need to position something in or whatever, this is really good. So this is the Icon one. Again, that's in my mobile bag. And again, here's the 3/8 swivel socket set from Husky. So it's got all the common sizes on there: 19, 17, 15, 14, 13, I believe, and 12, and then 10. I do need to find a better socket holder, but these have actually been holding up pretty well. I thought just throw this in the tool tote. It doesn't fall out. So these wipes have been really good. And I'm just kind of sorting through and cleaning stuff up right now. So if y'all bored, feel free to pass on. One thing I do plan on doing next is taking the jacks off, because I've found that I like this cart a lot, but with anything, I tend to pile things in there. You know, parts on this section, and then I got my stands, and then fluids, and then, I mean, this thing it's heavy, and it still moves pretty easily, which is what I like. But I need to get crap off of there, so we'll get things cleaned up. Put my scrapers back.